नमः सुन्दरनाथाय तस्मै हालास्य वासिने चतुष्षष्टि विधालीला येनाकारि भुवस्तले श्रीमत्सुन्दरनाथस्य देवीं शफरलोचनां कलये हृदये नित्यं कदम्बवनवासिनीं पूतं स्वतः पूततरं ततो यद्गाङ्गम्पयः शङ्करमौळिसङ्गात् तत्पातु मातुः प्रणयापराधपादाहते पूततमं ततो नः जगतो जगतीश्वरस्य च श्रीः भवति यद्यपि सर्वतोऽस्ति पूर्णा करुणामयमुत्सहेन हातुं तव मीनाक्षि तथापि रूपम् एतत् इन्द्र मीनाक्षीं दृष्ट्वा तत्र स्तोत्रं करोति. If you look at Halasya Mahatmyam, the original, and Tiruvilayadal Puranam, which is in the Tamil, both of them, the Puranam as well as the Tamil author, both of them have given focus to Shiva. There is only a stotram for in Halasya Mahatmyam. The stotram there is, I think I told before, it is Somasandra Stuti. He Indrasya Stutihi Indraha Stotum Stutin Chakre Bhaktya iti आरभ्य एकं ब्रह्म अद्वितीयं परिपूर्णं परात्परं इति यो गीयते वेदैः तं वन्दे सोमसुन्दरम्. So the entire stotram that Indra does is only to Somasundara there. Even in the Tiruvilayadal Puranam, there are four verses that Indra addresses Shiva there. Whereas our Neelakanta Dikshita, the difference there is, he is so enamored by that Meenakshi Vigraham that is there, and he is such a Devi Bhakta that he feels it is not right to only do a stuti of Shiva. So you have to do a stotram of Meenakshi. I think, see, every author, every poet has his own Ishta Devata and his own perspective also to how the situation might have happened, right? So here, his Ishta Devata here is Meenakshi. So he said, it's I have to do a stotram of Meenakshi. So Jagataha Jagadishwarasya Shrihi Bhavati Eva. To understand that the tattvam behind Shiva is Shakti. That's the main point that Neelakanta Dikshita wants to convey by this. Indra understood the Shakti Tattvam that was behind Shiva, so and the world. So Jagataha, Jagatishwarasya cha Shrihi Shobha, or the force behind the world and Parameshwara is you. Bhavati, Yadyapi Sarvato Asti Purna, Yadyapi you are present everywhere. Sarvavyapi asi. Brahmande sarvatra cha sampurna vyapta asitvam. Tathapi, even then, karunamaya vigraham etat. So this rupam that you have taken here, this form that you have taken here is such a compassionate form. So it's very difficult for normal people, samanya jananam krite tu etat durlabham asti yat bhagavataha rupam sarvatra drashtu. That sarvavyapi iti, we can probably understand intellectually that the goddess is all pervasive, but to realize it is very difficult for a normal person like us to understand that all pervasiveness of Devi. So we need a form for us to get attracted to and go into that form, so that slowly we are led into the expanse of that Murti to understand the Vishwarupatvam that is there in that Devata Swarupam. So that form actually is a Karunamayam. Out of compassion for the people who cannot visualize, who cannot understand that this entire Brahmandam is Parameshwari or Parameshwara, we need a form to focus. Right? So Karunamayam. Out of compassion for these children of hers, she decided to come in this form. So Karunamayam etat rupam na hatum Meenakshi shakye. So even though you are present everywhere, I cannot leave this form of yours and go anywhere else, because this is so beautiful and this is such a compassionate form that I cannot leave this and go. So Jagataha Jagatishwarasya cha Shrihi Bhavati Yadyapi Sarvatosti Purna Karunamayam Utsahena Hatum Tava Meenakshi Tathapi Rupametat. But he has to do it, right? He has to go, he has a work, she has appointed him to do certain things. Idla Saundaralahari Larche, Tadanyaf Panibhyam, Abhaya Varado, Daivata Ganaha, Tomeka Naivasi Prakitita Varabhitya Bhinaya. They have their own work assigned to them. They have to stand for all these people, bhaktas. They have to stand with the Abhaya Varada Mudra to show that they are giving all of these things. Dikpalakatvam, Athava Swargasya Palakatvam, these are all the work that she has given. But who is the driving force there? She is the one. Shakti is the force there. So he says, you have given me this work, I have to go back to my position of being the Adhipati for Swarga and the Triloka Adhipati. Rupena eva Indraha tatra vartate. Khalu? So since I have to go, and I cannot do, personally, I can't do the seva for you here. There are so many trees and creepers in my name. Take it as they are doing service in my name. Harayaste harayasta ime mahavanesmin ayam indradru rasau api indravalli mama nama jushas sthita yadete mama seveyamiti praticha mataha. He mataha mama seva iyam iti praticha swikuru. You take this as mama seva. Take this as my service to you or my worship to you. Accept them as my worship to you. What is this? Asmin mahavane, in this great forest, te ime harayaha. There are some trees which are hari. So hari could mean two things. One is hari chandanam. So chandanam is also called hari chandanam. So it could be hari chandanam also. Or hari priya or hari priyaha is kadamba vrikshaha. So these kadamba trees are also present. Malayachalaha iti karanat tatra chandranadrumaha api santi. Kadambavanam iti karanat tatra kadambadrumaha api santi. Right? So because it is the Malaya mountain, you have the sandalwood trees. It is the Kadambavanam, so you have Kadamba trees also. So ime harayaha, te ime harayaha, harihi hari harayaha. So what is this hari here? It can be Chandanam tree. It can also be Kadamba vanam, Kadamba trees. If you want to take it as animals, there are many animals that are there in that forest, and he could have meant any of those animals also. Harihi iti ashvaha, harihi iti simhaha, bhekaha. There are so many animals which are also known as hari, not only kapihi, vanaraha. So there is not only Vishnu or Indra, Yama, Anilaha, all of these people have the name of hari. It is a pariyayavachi for many things. So here you can take it as whatever it is. Everything is Hari here. So they all have my name. So take it, even though I am not present, things in my name are present here. So take it as my seva for you. So that is one thing. The next is he is very specific about the tree and Valli. That is why I said Harayaha could mean all of these trees and creepers and animals which are all in my name. And I am Indra Druhu. Indra Druhu is Indra Taruhu, Indra Vrikshaha, iti Arjuna Vrikshaha. In Sanskritam, it is called Arjuna Vrikshaha. Tamil la vandu Marudunu solluvom. Marudu maram. Arjuna Kshetra, there are 3 Arjuna Kshetras in South India. One is Sri Shailam, which is Mallikarjuna Kshetram, where the a Mallika creeper is hugging the Arjuna Vriksham. So Arjuna Vriksha is supposed to be Parameshwara, and the Mallika there is supposed to be Shiva. So it is a Shiva, Shivayor Aikyam Tatra Asti iti. So that Kshetram in Sri Shailam is, the Swami is called Mallikarjuna Swami. In Tirubidai Marudur, In Tanjavur district, you have the Tiruvadai Marudur, which is called Madhyarjuna Kshetram. There also the Sthala Vriksham is Arjuna Vriksha. Even in Sri Shailam, the Sthala Vriksham is Arjuna Vriksha or Indra Vriksha. So in this Tiruvadai Marudur, it is called Madhyarjuna Kshetra. And then there is a Putarjuna Kshetra. Putarjuna Kshetram is Tirunelveli district. Tirupudai Marudur Nanikare. Putam ityukte bilam. There is a hole. So there is a story about how a king came there and he was chasing a deer. The deer just went into that putam. So there is a bilam. Adavadhu oru periya otta madri ground illa. There was a huge hole. There was a hole inside the ground or a burrow where the deer just disappeared. Burrows are usually for small animals like rabbits, everything. But then a huge deer could disappear underneath. So the king got very curious about it and he started cutting that Arjuna tree. When he started cutting that Arjuna tree, there was blood oozing out of that tree. So he realized then that Shiva Swayambhu Lingam is there, and so he built a temple there. So that is Puta Arjuna Kshetram. Putat tatra Arjuna Vrikshaha Bahiragataha iti karanat. From that burrow, the tree was growing. So, and that tree is the representation of Parameshwara there. So, Arjuna tree has only, it is the Sthalavraksham of only 3 kshetrams in South India. So, it is a very pavanatvam, tatra asti tasya. So it's a very sacred tree. I am Indradruhu. Even in Kadambavanam, there is an Arjuna tree, Arjuna Vrikshaha. Take that as my seva. I am Indradruhu. Mama Nama Jushaha Stitaha. These are all things that have taken up my name and are standing here. So Nama Jushaha. Nama Jushamanaha. They are Jushante. The bhajantaha. So they are having my name. Having my name, they are all standing here. Oh, there is one more thing. Asau api Indravalli. Indravalli iti kachana vanyalata. It is not a domestic thing that you grow. It is a more of a wild creeper that grows, which is called Indravalli. Tamilla vandu mudakkattan keerai. Mudakku aruttan keerai. So that is called Indravalli in Sanskritam. So Indravalli, iyam asau api Indravalli, this creeper which is Indravalli, all of these stand with my name in them. So ete sarve api ite ime harayaha ayam Indradruhu asau Indravalli api yat mama nama jushaha sthitaha ete sarve api, all of these 3, either the animals or the different kinds of trees which have the name of Hari in them, because he only says Nama Jushaha, those which have my name. So we don't need to have the entire name there. Hari Chandanam Mityapi Vaktum Shakyate. So Hari Priyaha iti kadam vrikshasyapi bhavedeva. So that which has the name of Indra, Mama Nama Jushaha Ete Sthitaha, these all are standing with my name. So you take it as a representative of me, even if I am not here and I have to go and take care of your duty, because that is the duty that you have given me. Mama seva iyam iti praticha. Take this as my own, my service or my worship to you. Harayasta ime mahavane asmin ayam Indradruhu asau api Indravalli mama nama jushasthitaha yadete mama seva iyam iti prathicha yat yasmat karanat ete mama nama jushaha sthitaha vartante tasmat karanadeva mama seva iyam iti praticha. So because of that, take it as my service to you or my worship to you. Okay. Kati santu navedhasaha kati indraha tava meenakshi tarangitairapangaihi kim adhaschyavate maya vinadyauhu kripanam mam ghatayasva kinkareshu. It's a very interesting shloka that he gives. He says there are many Brahmas who have come before, who will come again. Kati vedhasaha na santu. Bhavaha santi ityartaha. That na is more of an akshepa. It is not a direct negation of the statement. Kati Vedasaha na santu. Itukte kiyantaha. Kati kiyantaha. How many Vedasaha, Brahmas, have not been present? There were so many Brahmas present. So it's more like an objection here and not a negation. So Kati Santu, Kati Vedasaha na Santu. How many Brahmas will not be there or were not there before? Bahavaha Brahmanaha Purvam Asanna. There were many Brahmas before. Now we have one Brahma going on now. Adya Brahmanaha Shvetavaraha Kalpe iti Vadamah Kalu. So there is one Brahma who is the reigning over now, and then there is going to be another Kalpa also where another Brahma will come. So there are going to be many Brahmas like this. It is a position. So it depends on who can attain that greatness and come to that position. And it should also be a person, even if they have that capability to sit in that position, they should want that position. There may be many rishis who have done upasana and have gone up to Satyalokam and they are capable of being the Brahma, but they may not be willing to take up that position and they want only moksha. Right? So there should also only a person who has the willingness to be, or Bhagavan decides that, okay, you have to take up this job. So they take it up as given by her or given by the Lord, right? So Kati Vedasaha na santu. How many Brahmas have not been there? Bahavaha santi eva. Kati Indraha. Hey Meenakshi, Kati Indraha na santu. How many Indras are not present? Even all the kings who have done 100 yagas, Ashwamedha yagas, Shatamakaha, Shatakratuhu, iti eva Indrasya Anyanama. So one who has done 100 yagas is considered as an Indra, and he can be kept in the position of Indra. That is why Nahusha came there. When Indra lost his position and he went and hid inside the stalk of a lotus, Nahusha came there because he had that capability. Samarthyam asiti tasya. So because he had that capability, he had finished 100 yagas, he was asked to take up that position of Indra. So like that, many kings could do, right, could come up to that position of Indra. So Shatam Makhana Yashtva Indra Padavim Praptaha Bahavaha Santi. Athava Indra Padavim Praptum Samarthyam Vyesham Vidyate Te tu Bahavaha Santi. So those who have the capabilities of becoming Indra, there are a lot of people like that. Katina Santi. So many people are there. Hey Meenakshi, Maya Vina, without me, is that Swargam going to fall down? Do I have to personally be there for that Swarga to stay stabilized well in a foundation? Not necessary. Maya Vina, Dyauhu Sargaha, Kim Adaha Chyavate Kim. Is it going to fall, slip down? Chyavate, slip. So is it going to slip down? No. It is still running there. He has been roaming around the entire Bhumi, and the Swargam has been there. He was hiding in a lotus stalk. It was functioning automatically. Each one has their work to do, and each one is doing that work, and they are taking care of these three worlds. So it is not, the Swargam is not going to fall down because Indra is not there. He understands that very well. This is called self-realization. You understand your worth there. See, Indra shows his because there was that, see, he threw that on the Yana Mela, he lost all of his wealth, or he killed Ipa Vritrasuran. He has not lost all his wealth. It is only from the next Leela that he is going to lose his wealth and he's again going to get it, right? So in the first Leela where he killed Vritrasura and he thought he will stabilize Swargam by killing all the Asuras. See, all this can happen even with another Indra. Only this Indra has to accomplish it. It's not a necessity that only this Indra has to accomplish it. So, Kati Vedasaha na santu. There are so many Brahmas that are present. There are so many Indras. Maya Vina. Without me, this Swargam is not going to fall down. Kim Adhaha Chyavate. Would this Swarga slip down without me? Now, the next part is the most interesting part. Tava tarangitaihi apangaihi kripanam mam kinkareshu ghatayasva. So include me among your servants. This is a permanent position. Even though Indra Padavi is not permanent. And Sargam is just going to be there. Anybody can become an Indra. I am not ruling it. I am not protecting it. I am not keeping that Swargam there in its position. I know that. So I want to be one of your servants. So Kinkareshu, Tava Kinkareshu, Tava Tarangitaihi Apangaihi. So Tarangitaihi itukte Tarangavat Uttarottaram. Chalanam. So there is a apanga. Apanga is netra kataksham. The corner, the glances that come from the corner of the eye is called apanga. Apanga drishtihi. Ambayaha apanga drishtistu tatra avashyaki eva sarvesham. So that the corner glance of Devi is needed for any sort of a position in this world. So he says tava apangaihi. And that apangam is not just one apangam. In Saundarya he says, Apangatte labdva jagadidam anango vijayate. Just one from your glance, Manmatha wins over the entire world. But then here we need it continuously. Indra needs it continuously because he is constantly slipping from his position and doing something or the other. So, appodikki ippode kettu vippenangra. So I'll ask you for your grace constantly. So tarangitaihi apangaihi tarangavat tatra avichinnataya vartitavyam. So the apanga glances, the glances should be like a continuous wave. Tarangitaihi apangaihi, with your continuous waves of that glance, include me. He calls himself as a poor me, Deenam Mam, Kripanam Mam. I'm very poor here. I'm a very sadharna person, you know. So, Mam, Kripanam Mam, Kinkareshu, Tava Kinkareshu, Ghatayaswa. Include me, give me a position among your servants. So, this is one way of looking at it. If you put Kripanam as the Visheshana for Mam, then you can see, include this poor me also among your servants. Or, if you put that Kripanam Gatayasva, then you can call it as include me among your servants, Kripanam Gatayasva, in such a manner that I get at least the lowest rung, at least the last position for me. That's why this would be more suitable, because it connects with what both Shiva and Meenakshi are going to reply to his stotra. So keep this in mind. The second one is more suited. Even though you can do both ways, I have given both ways, but the second one is more attractive because I'll tell you later. So Mam Indram Kinkareshu, among your Tava Sevakeshu, among your servants, Kripanam Ghatayasva, Kshudra Padastam Ghatayasva. Include me among your servants at the least position, at the lowest rung of the cadre. So there can be different positions in the set of servants here. So include me as the lowest person in your cadre at least. So Kati Santu Navedhasaha, Kati Indraha, Tava Meenakshi. You have so many Indras at your disposal. You have so many Brahmas at your disposal. I know very well that if, this Swargam is not going to stand, so Swargam will stand even without me. It is not going to slip down because I'm not there. So include me among your servants. Keep me in your thoughts, right? Kati santu navedhasaha, kati indraha tava meenakshi tarangitairapangaihi kimadhaschavate maya vinadyohu kripanam mam ghatayasva kinkareshu. The difference I saw, because I was reading that section in Tamil Thiruvilayadal and the Halasya Mahatmyam, just for a comparison, you know, what distinguishes Nilakanta Dikshita from those two works? It's because it's a more reflective way of stotram. Both of those have a stotraparam, potri nuduvar, talking about the greatness of Shiva. Completely, Anor Aniyan, Mahato Mahiyaniti, talking about the greatness. But whereas Nilakanta Dikshita approaches it from a very personal level, he says there can be so many people, but I want to be only one of your servant. That's it's more of a reflective way of saying it, you know, because he has done a great sin and he has come here, so he should show some sort of a reflection, right? That's the difference between the two. So kati santana vedhasak katindra stava meenakshi tarangite rapangaihi kim adhaschavate maya vinadyohu kripanam mam ghatayassu kinkareshu vyagalat danujeshu matsaraha me virarama tridiva upabhoga ragaha sthagita bahireva vritrahatya bhavato radya mai prasada lesha. Now he comes to the context. He says bhavatoho mai prasada leshat. Bhavatoho Bhavatoho Meenakshi Sundareshayoho Bhavatoho Bhayorapi Prasada Leshat Anugraha Kanat. Just a little lesham ityukte, there is, it's just a little bit. By just a little bit of your grace, you know, the little grace that you show towards me, because of that, bhavatoho prasada leshat adya mayi bhavatoho prasada leshat, because you are showing mad vishaye mayi iti. So because of the little grace that you show in my towards me, mayi, what has happened to Indra now? Three things. One is Dhanujeshu me matsaraha vyagalat. He had a jealousy, he was envious towards the asuras, Dhanujaha, Dhanoho apatyam pumamsaha. So Dhanujaha, he had an issue with them. He was totally envious about the prosperity that they also had. He did not want them to have. So he had a matsaraha. Matsaraha ityukte para utkarsha. Madhusudana Saraswati vandu Madhusudana Saraswati has written a Vyakhyanam for Gita called Gudartha Deepika. He has explained each and every bhavam, that is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryam. Each and everything he gives a very precise definition for those, which is like one lakshanam that you have to take and apply everywhere. Pakkava irukum. Adhu para utkarsha asahana purvika swa utkarsha vancha matsaraha. Matsaraha is not mere jealousy. There is a para utkarsha asahana purvika. It is an intolerance towards the prosperity of another person. Not only that. So para utkarsha tatra asahana. So there is no tolerance towards another person's vriddhi, prosperity. And at the same time, you also want yourself, a prosperity for yourself also. Swa utkarsha vancha. So, அவன் ஒழியணும்னு மாத்திரம் இல்ல, நானும் நன்னா இருக்கணும்ங்கிறத கேட்டுக்கிறது தான் மத்சரஹா. So this is that envy that you have. So that sort of an envy he had towards Dhanuja, towards the asuras. So my envy towards them has now vyagalati. Vigalati has completely disappeared. It was there before and now it has moved away and disappeared. So me matsaraha, my envy towards the Dhanujas, towards the asuras, Dhanujeshu, Dhanujanam vishaye iti. Tesham vishaye yaha matsaraha asit sahatu aduna vyagalat. It is completely vanished. I used to have an attachment towards enjoying the delights in the heaven, in the Sarga. So tridiva upabhoga ragaha. Ragaha api virarama, it has ceased. It is completely stopped. It is paused now. So there is a pause there for it, or it is stopped, because he has come here and he is in that mode, right? He is he is a deva after all, right? So that shubha vasana, when there is an intensity of that shubha vasana, it is natural that his attachment is gone, his matsaryam, his envy is also gone, and the papam has also stopped outside. So tridiva upabhoga ragaha virarama. Tridiva swargam. Swargasya upabhoge bhoganam rasane anubhave ragaha asaktihi. There is an attachment towards the upabhoga, towards the enjoyments or delights that are found in tridiva, in the swarga. That sukha anubhava ashatu virarama. It has completely ceased. It is stopped. Vritra Hatya, the papam, the sin of killing Vritrasura has also been stopped outside itself. Bahireva sthagita. It is stopped outside. Kadambavanat bahihi eva. As soon as I entered Kadambavanam, the Vritra Hatya could not follow me. It had taken a personification form. It personified form of that Vritra Hatya was following him continuously everywhere. No matter which kshetram he went, he could not get rid of that. But then the moment he stepped into Kadambavanam, it was stopped outside itself. Sthagita. So Vritra Hatya, the Hanana Rupam Papam tu Bahireva Kadambavanat Bahihi Eva Sthagita. It was completely stopped outside itself. All of this happened because of Tava Prasada Leshat. Tava alla. Bhavatoho Prasada Leshat. Yuvayoho. Right? It was because of both of your prasadam, both of your anugraham, that I was able to stop my envy and kamakrodhanam upashamaha api indriya nigraha. So kamakrodha lobhamoha madamatsarya shad ripunam jayaha prathamam. Tadanantaram you have ragadveshanam viramaha. So there should not be ragadvesha. And then you will be able to burn all your papa punyam and then get moksham. These are the three states here. So first is kamakrodha, which is involving the outer world. And then Tridiva Upabhoga Ragaha ityukte Ragam, he already does not have Aihika Amushmika Phalabhoga Virahagangro. He does not have to enjoy Bhumi enjoyments. He only has Swarga enjoyments. So he has Punyam there. And that Punyam, until that Punya stock is gone, he is going to enjoy the Swargam there. So that interest is also not there for him. When the Ragadvesha is also gone, the next step is only to remove the Papa Punyam and be ready for moksha. So, Vyagalat Dhanujeshu Matsaro me Virarama Tridibopabhoga Upabhoga Ragaha Sthagita Bahireva Vritra Hatya Bhavato Radyamai Prasada Leshat. With this, 12 shlokas were the Indrastuti. So he has concluded his stuti by saying that his sin is disappeared now and it is not following him. Iti tam pranipatya samstuvantam prathamam bhaktimatam patim suranam anugrihya dayormilaihi apangaihi agadishtam idam adimau yuvano. So adimau yuvano Adimau Yuvano. Adimau inge include panla. Maranduvite. Okay. Imo Adimau Yuvano idam agadishtam. So iti evam pranipatya, after doing a namaskara, tam stuvantam tam, he was praising in this following manner, right? So these are all, the first line is full of adjectives for Indra. So both of them, that is Adimau Yuvanau, the primordial couple, right? The young couple, Nitya Tarunau, they are always young, ever young, Meenakshi and Sundaresha. Both of them, Yuvanau ityukte, Yuvati cha, Yuvacha, Yuvanau. So Ekashesham happens there, right? So Yuvano, these two young people, they're Swayambhu, Nityam, but Nityam, they are always young. Anna, they are also, at the same time, they are also the most ancient people also. Sahasrare Padme, Saharasi Patya Viharase. Adla Pakarche, they both have been there for the longest time in this world, but at the same time, they are ever young. Adimo Yuvano. So it's a contradiction that will only fit Shiva and Parvati and nobody else, right? Adi, only those two, Shakti and Purusha. So iti pranipatya stuvantam tam. Bhaktimatam prathamam. Suranam patim tam. So the two people spoke to Indra. How was Indra? He who had first done a namaskaram, pranipatya, after doing namaskara, stuvantam. He was samstuvantam, samyak stuvantam. He was praising both of them here. And he was doing a stotram to both of them in the above manner. Iti stuvantam. Iti evam prakarena stuvantam tam. Prashamsantam tam. And then bhakti matam prathamam. See, bhakti matam prathamam. When they reply also, he says in the next shloka also, adhyastvam eshamasi. They confirm him. You don't need to be kripanam mam. You don't need to be in the kshudra padavi. You don't need to be the last rung of the sevakas. You are actually the first among the bhakti matam, among the devoted people who are present here. You are the best. Prathamam ityukte, first and best. Shresthaha tvam eva bhakti matam. Among the bhaktas who are present here, you are the first and foremost, and you are the best among them. So bhakti matam prathamam. Suranam patim, he is also the lord of the devas. Tam Indram anugrihya. Kadham anugrihya, they showed they grazed him with their glances apangaihi. And those apanga is daya urmilaihi. Daya eva urmayaha asya sati iti apanganam visheshanataya uktam. So this is a kripa tarangitaihi apangaihi, with glances that are filled with waves of compassion. So daya urmilaihi urmayaha asya asti iti apangaha. So that apanga, that corner glance which has urmi, which is continuous and filled with compassion, daya kripa. So daya urmilaihi apangaihi anugrihya, after gracing him with those glances, they spoke in the following manner. Adimo yuvano idam agadishtam. Idam the next shloka, agrimam vachanam. Okay, agrimam shlokam. They agadishtam. Agadishtam is gadati iti padasya. It is the lung lakara for gad dhatu. Agadishtam in prathama purusha dvivachana. Okay. So they both spoke. Iti. Okay. Avadatam ityarthe. So what did they speak is the next shloka. Now here this word urmila is a little, you won't find it in the Ashtadhyayi. So there is one sutram which is some, there are two sutras actually. There are two ganas which talk about Siddhmadi gana and Pichchadi gana. In both those ganas, you don't find the word urmi. So you cannot put the upasarga, so you cannot have the pratyaya ilach or lach pratyaya to make it into urmila. You can have pankila, which is filled with pankam, which is filled with the dirt. You can have pankaha asya asti iti pankilam iti vaktum shakyate. Pankilam saraha, a lake which is filled with panka. So pankilam saraha. So that la can come there, that pratyaya can come there. But then this urmi is a word which is not found there. We just take it as akriti ganam. And because, see, Nilakanta Dikshita is also a grammarian. He knows grammar also. Maybe there is some usage in some Purana which he has read. And so he has used that word, is what I feel. So, if even Kalidasa has a lot of Apaninian usages, this may be one such usage in Nilakanta Dikshita's text. So daya urmilaihi apangaihi. So it's an adjective to apangam, which is filled with the urmi, waves. And what are those waves? It is only compassion. So because of compassion, they are continuously showing their grace to Indra constantly. So he also does a namaskaram and does this following stotra. After he has finished that stotram, both Shiva and Parvati reply to him. Ititam pranipatya samstuvantam prathamam bhakti matam patim suranam anugrihya dayormilairapangaihi agadishtamidam adimo yuvano. The next, from the next shloka, that is 85, 86, 87 and 88, each shloka has a different meter. So usually at the end of the sarga, we have seen for two sargas now. This is the third sarga that we are seeing this difference. But the only difference is in the earlier sargas, he would do either one shloka or two shlokas in a different meter. Now he has done 4 shlokas in different meters. So the first one is the shloka number 85, which is in Upajati. We have seen Upajati in the first and the second sarga, where it is a combination of both Upendra Vajra and Indra Vajra. You can have that combination in any padam, and how many ever times. So here it is Adyastvamesham asiparshadanam kumarayos chasya anayoho tritiyaha jani vahete paramamcha bhaktim vidravitasa tava vritra hatya. So if you look at this, the first, the third, and the last padam all starts with Guru. So it is Syadindra Vajra Yaditau Jagaukaha. So this is your indication that these three padas are Indra Vajra. Kumarayoho cha asi anayoho. This starts with Laghu here, like Upendra Vajra Jatajas Tatoko. So this one is different. So one padam is Upendra Vajra, the other three are Indra Vajra. So the meter is called Upajati here. Okay. So we'll just look at what Shiva and Parvati have replied to Indra, and then we'll close today's session. So Adyastvam esham asi parshadanam kumarayoscha asi anayoho tritiyaha jani vahete paramamcha bhaktim vidravitasa tavad vritrahatya. Ellame, it is a reply to what Indra has said in the last two shlokas. That's why romba appropriate the first shloka that we saw today was where he says, include me, kinkareshu mam kripanam ghatayasva iti. Put me in the last rung of the sevakas. She says, Adyastvam esham asi parshadanam. Esham parshadanam, all of these ganas who are all here, all of the bhaktas who are here, parshadaha, Parishad, Parishade Bhavaha, Parishadi Bhavaha, Parshadaha, one who are in the assembly of Bhagavan. So it can be Vishnu Parshadaha, it can be Shiva Parshadaha. So Bhakta, that's all it means. So who belong to that group. So Esham Parshadanam, Esham Bhaktanam Madhye, among these bhaktas, among these devotees, Tvam Adyaha Asi. Okay. You are the first among all of these devotees. Adyaha tvam esham asi. Next is, she even includes him as the third son. Anayoho kumarayoho tritiyaha asitvam. You are the third among the two children. You are the third person. So which means you are our third child. Kumarayoho, Kumara Gananathaha, Ubhayorapi, Tvam Tritiyaha Asi. If I say you are the Prathamaha, then that is Prathamaha ityukte tatra Kumaraha eva Prathamaha, Adava Gananathaha Prathamaha. Even though Gananatha was born later, he is the first child. He is the elder child. Kumara is born first, but he is the younger one. அது ஒரு புராண கதை இதெல்லாம் வேடிக்கை இதெல்லாம் you bring in all of these dilemmas and everything, all these differences, and show that these fit there. Yeah, like you look at the vahanams of each and every god in that family. So Shiva's vahanam is Nandi, whereas Devi's vahanam is Simha. Both of them have a contradiction. They are constantly fighting in real world, but they are happily sitting together. The mouse and pambu, snake, which is there on Shiva. The mouse is the vahanam of Gananatha. So these two have an enmity, but they are also happily sitting together in this family. The point is actually, and even the snake and the mayuram, peacock, those two have an enmity also. Sadhyaha Vairatyagaha. When there is a yogi, Parama yogi, in his presence, there is no virodham at all. That's why even the animals do not have any virodham in the presence of such a yogi. So this sort of a differences between them will easily exist in such divine presence. So Kumarayoho, among those two, you are the third one. You are neither the first nor the second, because they share a very special place for both Shiva and Parvati. Now you are the third son for us. So Adyastvamasi esham parshadanam kumarayoho anayoha cha tritiyaha tvam. We know about your great devotion, so we have chased away that papam vritrahatya. te paramam bhaktim vayam avam jani vahe. We both know about your great devotion, paramam bhaktim jani vahe. We understand about your great devotion. Sa vritrahatya, sa na bahutra anusaranti asit. Sa, she was continuously following you and she did not go away from anywhere. And you also said bahireva sthagita iti. She has been stopped outside. Appo enna bhayam? What is the fear that Indra has? He feels that if he goes out of that forest, that will again follow him, right? So Bhagavan gives the assurance here that sa vritrahatya tava, that your great sin of yours has been vidravita. It is being chased away. It is not standing waiting outside and stopping there for you to return back. இந்த இது மாதிரி எங்க திருவிடமருத்தூர்லயா இல்ல ஏதோ ஒரு ஊர்ல வந்து பிரம்மஹத்தி தோஷம். So the Brahma Rakshas is supposed to be sitting on one of the Gopura Vashal, Gopura entrance. And that Brahma Rakshas is supposed to be sitting there. So whenever you enter through that, but you never come back through that. Because that Brahma Rakshas is waiting to catch you when you come back, when you return. Until you go inside, you are protected by Parameshwara. So you go out through another entrance. You never return through the entrance where the Brahma Rakshas is supposed to be sitting. And the Madri, he is afraid here that if he gets out of the forest, that Vritra Hatya is going to follow him again. So Parameshwara and Meenakshi assure him that that is not going to be there. It has been already chased away. So Sa Vritra Hatya Tava Vidravita. It has been chased away. So don't worry. Adyastvamesham. There's one more shloka which both of them say. Two shlokas. So we will look at that next class. So we'll stop with this. Adyastvamesham asi parshadanam kumarayoho cha asi anayoho tritiyaha janivahe te paramam cha bhaktim vidravitasa tava vritrahatya. Questions? Namaste, Modya.
Yes, madam. இந்த சர்க்காவும் ரொம்ப நல்லாவே இருந்தது மேடம். வித்ரஹத்யாங்கிற சின்ல ஆரம்பிச்சு சில காலங்களுக்கு அவருடைய கர்ம பலன்களை அனுபவிச்சு அதுக்கப்புறம் குரு வந்து அவர்களுடைய மார்க்கம் என்னன்னு சொல்லி அதுக்கப்புறம் அவர் எல்லா புண்ணிய ஸ்தலங்களுக்கும் போய் எல்லா சன்னியாசிகளுக்கும் சேவை பண்ணி தன்னுடைய மனசையும் உடம்பையும் சுத்தமாக்கி அதுக்கப்புறமா பக்தி நிஜமான பக்தி அடைஞ்சு அதுக்கப்புறம் சரணாகதி அடைஞ்சு அதுக்கப்புறமா அவருக்கு என்ன பதவி கிடைக்குதுங்கிறத ரொம்ப தெளிவா சொல்லியிருக்காரு.
ஆமா, அந்த ப்ராசஸ் அதான் எனக்கு வந்து இது மோர் பர்சனல் ரிஃப்ளெக்ஷன் மாதிரி இருந்தது. அது எல்லாருக்குமே ஒரு ஃபாலோ பண்ண வேண்டியது. நம்மளுடைய if we have to get rid of our sins also we have to go through இது இல்ல
நம்மால ஒண்ணுமே செஞ்சுக்க முடியாதுங்கிற ஒரு பாவம் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமா தான் அவ்வளவு நடக்குது.
ஆமா
இல்லையா? வித்ரஹத்யா நம்மால ஒண்ணுமே செஞ்சுக்க முடியாது.
கதி இருக்கு எல்லாருக்குமே. there is a path.
கதி ஒண்ணே ஒண்ணுதான்.
ஆமா,
சரணாகதி.
கரெக்ட், சரணாகதி தான். very very beautifully summarized.
அவரு என்ன பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா சொல்லிட்டு வந்திருக்காரு பாருங்க. லாங்குவேஜ் அந்த கொஞ்சம் காம்ப்ளிகேட்டடா இருந்தாலும் அவர் சொல்ல வந்தது தெளிவா சொல்லிட்டு வந்திருக்காரு ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்லோகத்திலயும், இல்லையா? அதுதான்
சார் வேணும், ரசிக்கணும் சார். அது வந்து you'll have to understand why he has said this, you know, the purpose of the whole thing is
எப்படி இருந்தது, அந்த விக்கிரகத்தோட நிர்மாணம் எப்படி இருந்தது, அதெல்லாம் கூட ரொம்ப பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா பண்ணிட்டு வந்திருக்காரு.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Namaste. Ramakrishna sir, you have a question?
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Mama ekah prashna vishayantara asti bhavati anumatim dadati chet prashtukamo asmi.
Vadantu.
Atra nishpannam pade natvam kimartam na bhavati shakara asti pakara asti nakara kimartam na bhavati.
அதுல வந்து பது is there in the middle. It is actually nish plus padu plus kta pratyaya.
Na nishpannam nishpada.
So the does not come with the Atkupvangnum Devayepi and the Kadayade. So it cannot change into na, is what I feel. There can be other sutras also which apply there. வராதுங்கிற அளவுக்கு தான் எனக்கு தெரியறது. சின்னம், உத்பன்னா, அது. So that forms first, and then you have nish, nishe கிடையாது actually, அது nir dur தான். So that nish comes afterwards probably. So and the sutrangalnude, you'll have to look at the sutra numbers to see which will appear which will come first, and the numbers padi there is some difference in that, no? Vipratishede param karyam, purvam karyam, or if something has been done before, you cannot apply another sutra again. Adu irukku. Not very clear about that. Grammar konjam, it's not within.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. If I know, I will let you know afterwards.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yaro anunasike anunasiko va pad na. Siddha. Yes. So, can you unmute yourself and explain that? Kamakshiya. Yaro anunasike anunasiko va vardu. Pad plus na is pannam. Utpannam, அந்த மாதிரி வரும். Okay, natvam comes later, இல்லையா? சொல்லு. ஆமா, ரஷாபியாம். Yeah, I can't hear you. Namaste.
Hello.
சொல்லு. Yeah.
Yeah, நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி I thought that yaronunasike is pad plus na, that panna, that first nakara that we get is gotten by yaronunasike anunasiko, which is asiddha to natvam. Natvam comes in the prathama, in the chaturtha pada, but it is an earlier sutra. 8-4,
Okay.
I think. Wait, 841 or something. It's one of the
okay, earlier ones. So because we have applied the latter sutram, you cannot apply the earlier sutram after the latter sutram. Okay, yeah? Is that clear?
The Natva Vidhayaka Sutras cannot see this nakara.
Correct. Yeah. Numbers லாம் தெரியல, but I was closer to that. சரி, சங்கரி மாதே.
Okay.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Ambayaha Meenakshiyaha stotram karoti Indraha iti Neelakanta Dikshitaha iti. Meenakshiyaha api stotrani drishyante Leela madhye na syat, Tiruvizhayadal Puranam madhye na syat, kintu Hestana Annamalai Apita Kuchambal Stavam iti Abhaya Dikshitaihi Virachitam Stotram Adhyeva Praptavati Mama Ashcharyam Jatam Etat Shrutva Aham tad ekam matram patitum ichchami bhavati anmatim dadati chet. Eka shloka.
Sure.
Kante vishamucho bhujagaha kaparde parshve cha bhutapatayaha pramatasha bhimaha shonachalesham upasritya bhajeta kova nasyat tavamba savidhe yadi sannidhanam. Shivasya shonachaleshasya kante vishamasti tasya jada kaparde vishamucho bhujagaha parshve bhutapatayaha bhimaha pramatasha parshve tadrisham shonachalesham upasritya kova bhajeta iti yadi amba nasyat tasya savide yadi amba nasyat यदि सन्निधानं न स्यात् को वा तं भजेत इति अपीत कुचां. तद् इष्टवती अहं प्रथमतया उन्नामलैयम्मन् स्तोत्रं पश्यामि वस्तुतः अन्नामलै अधिकं
இது அவர் எழுதியிருக்கார். It's a very popular one actually. A lot of people know about this.
मम अज्ञानम्
अपेदीक्षितस्य स्तोत्रम् एतत्. So for people who didn't understand that, I just wanted to say, so Shiva has Visham, has a poison in his throat, and he has a lot of bhayankara snakes all around him. And then he also, around him, there are these bhutaganas which are also very terrible to look at. So who will approach him when there is so much of frightening things around him and on him, if Amba was not present beside him? Because of the presence of Devi there, we are able to approach such a devata who has a very frightening thing.
Nicely explained, Bhavati. अनन्तरं अर्जुनवृक्षस्य विषये भवत्या उक्तम् अत्र वयं तु कोयम्बत्तूर् नगरे स्मः मरुदमलै समीपं तत्र वृक्षाः एव मरुदमलै इत्येव तस्य नाम मर्दाचलम् इति षड् अर्जुनवृक्षाः एव इदानीं तत्र अवशिष्टाः सन्ति इति किञ्चित् खेदकारी विषयः एव यतः अर्जुनवृक्षाः एव आसन् इदानीं तु केवलं षड् एव अवशिष्टाः सन्ति इति तस्य काण्डाः श्वेतवर्णयुक्ताः भवन्ति अर्जुन इति नाम तिरुवडैमरुदूर् एव भवत्या यदा उक्तं किं ब्रह्महत्या बहिः अस्ति
इट्स् द सेम् मध्यार्जुनक्षेत्रम् ओके
धन्यवादाः महोदय बहु सम्यक् अस्ति भवत्याः द्वारा वयं क्षेत्राणां विषये अपि शृण्मः श्रीशैलं गन्तव्यमिति इच्छा आगच्छति
எனக்கே இப்படிதான் வந்து நானே புரிஞ்சுக்கிறேன் அதனால ஐ ஃபீல் லைக் ஐ ஹேவ் டு கோ அண்ட் கோ மோர் இல்ல நான் சொல்லி சொல்லி மத்தவா போயிடுறா நான் இன்னும் போகல எனக்கு ஒரே வருத்தமா
भवत्याः अनुग्रहः भवत्याः वचनेन
अम्बायाः एव तत्र
भवती द्वारा वाचयति अम्बा इति स्वीकुर्मः धन्यवादः
नमस्ते चलो
namaste Mahoday. You had mentioned about Shiva's family, how the vahanas are conflicting by swabhavikataya virodah vartate iti किमपि निन्दास्तुतिः कापि निन्दास्तुतिः अस्ति
आम् अस्ति there is a subhashita shlokam like that actually where he is I don't understand how you are able to take care of such a family. Vakrokti, yes, Vakrokti.
Okay. Actually, I was wondering if you know of that Nindasuti. It was actually enacted as a dance.
Okay.
By
Subhashitathla engo vechirne enakku I don't know if I can quickly find that.
Okay. Sometime
I will maybe before the next class I will try to get that and start off with that. Let's see.
Okay.
मधुरवाण्यां वर्तते किन्तु अन्विषये वक्तव्यम् अन्यत् एक संशयः भवत्या एक वेब्सैट् विषये उक्तम् अन्यस्मिन् वर्गे फ्लवर्स् तद् द्रष्टुं शक्नुमः वेब्सैट् नाम ज्ञातुम् इच्छामि
So I can put that in the chat, I think. 1 minute. It's a good website. So you can make a note of that. I will put it in the chat.
Chat disabled iti asti atra.
Oh, okay. I can. 1 minute. Everyone, I'll have to choose that and do it. Okay. Now you will be able to see the chat and you can copy this thing. Asti, khalo? Yeah.
Asti.
Okay. That's fine. Anything else?
धन्यवादः
Namaste.
किञ्चित् तत्र स्थापयित्वा वयं लिखामः
It will be there in the chat. If you go to your Zoom, you'll be able to find this usually. Otherwise, I can put it in the discussion part or somewhere on Vyoma website also. I can put this up. It should be, we should be able to check it out.
अस्तु महोदय,
Yeah.
धन्यवादाः.
Okay. Namaste. Namas Sundaranathaya Tasmai Halasya Vasine Chatushishti Vidhalila Yenakari Bhuvasthale.